Valencia County 911, where's your emergency?
I just wanted to call you, tell you that I prepared.
Sheriff's office, anybody inside make express zone?
So is there 4 people dead?
Yeah,
Who is that in the background?
that's my dad. He's gargling.
He's gargling?
Yeah.
Are you willing to help him right now?
So, like, around 3 a.m., this one 6-year-old kid, Diego Lever, called 911, and the officers had, like, zero idea what they were walking into. At that hour, the streets of Belen, New Mexico were totally empty. Most people were fast asleep, and honestly, any call at that time usually didn't mean anything good. But, oh my God, what they heard on the line was way worse than anyone could have imagined. Diego gave his name and his voice, creepy, calm, like totally eerie, until he said the thing that made everyone freeze. I just killed my entire family. After that, he started rambling about some weird stuff, saying he was like possessed or something, and then casually added that he was still at home if the cops wanted to come get him. The Lever family was like super well known in their community. Diego was one of 3 kids. His dad, Leonardo, worked in tech, and his mom, Adriana, was this respected firefighter. He had 2 brothers, Adrian and Alexander, who were teens too, not much older or younger than Diego. So when the police got to the house on the edge of town, they were understandably super careful. But even then, nobody was ready for what they saw inside. The scene in that house was beyond imagination. And the deeper the investigation went, the louder the question got. How could a 6-year-old even do something like this? And why? Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel, Jackson. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a like on this video. Also, I'd love to know where you're watching from, which country, which city, and like if there's anything you think I could improve in my videos, drop me a comment. I really try to make each video the best it can be, and your support and advice mean a ton. Okay, now, let's get into it. Today's story takes us to this small, dusty little town right in the heart of New Mexico, Belen. But wait. A quick heads up, there's also a city called Belém in northern Brazil, near the Amazon River, known for its crazy vibrant market, Vero Peso, where you can try all sorts of exotic fruits and seafood. But Belém is this mix of tropical nature, colonial architecture, and unique Amazonian culture, basically. A real gateway to the jungle. Anyway, for some people, Belém, New Mexico wasn't just a town, it was home. And for the Lever Bencomo family, this place meant everything. Adriana Bencomo, who friends called Andy, was 35, and she lived there with her 2-year-old husband, Leonardo Lever. Together, they had 3 kids, one 6-year-old Diego, one 4-year-old Alexandra, and another 6-year-old Adrian. Even though their ages were close, all 3 went to different schools. Diego at Belen High, Alexandra at Belen Middle School, and Adrian at Dream Academy School in the nearby town of Los Lunas. Home videos shot by Leonardo show just how devoted he was to his family. Both he and Adriana created this really loving environment for their kids. They took them on trips, brought them to climbing gyms, virtual shooting ranges, and even go-kart tracks. It's obvious they loved their kids and really tried to make each one feel special. But their love didn't stop with the kids. Dozens of photos show Leonardo and Adriana deeply in love with each other. And honestly, it's super touching to see a couple turn into this big loving family of 5. The whole family of 5 lived in the southeast part of Belen, right next to Leonardo's dad, the kid's grandfather, who had his own little building on the same property. The whole crew, including Grandpa, was super close. They stuck together and seemed inseparable. Now, a bit about the property itself. It was in a place called Campo Escondido. Tucked deep in the desert southeast of Belen, Campo Escondido is this remote little settlement with only a handful of homes. It was quiet, peaceful, and the nearest roads were miles away. The only thing that occasionally broke the silence was the distant rumble of a train passing nearby. And it's right there, in this small cluster of homes, that something happened that shocked even the most experienced cops. One night, totally out of the blue, the police were called to one of those houses. And what they found inside, oh my God, it was way worse than anyone could have imagined. At 3:30 a.m. on December 14th, 2024, a chilling call hit the Valencia County Sheriff's Office 911 line.
Valencia County 911, where's your emergency?
Valencia 911 caller, can you hear me?
Oh, hi, miss. I just wanted to call you, tell you that I killed my parents.
I'm sorry?
Well, I wanted to call you, tell you that I killed my parents.
You called 911 and said you killed your family, is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at right now?
I'm in the kitchen.
Okay, how did you kill them?
With a pistol.
Where are they at?
They're laying in the ground dead.
They're laying in the ground?
Yeah.
Who did you kill?
I killed my whole parents.
Your parents and who else? I'm here with you. Just talk to me, okay?
My whole family.
Your mom and dad?
Yeah.
Who else?
My brothers.
How many brothers do you have?
2.
Okay. When did this happen?
It just happened.
How long ago? Like 5 minutes ago? 3 minutes ago?
Like 10 minutes ago.
You don't know?
I'll leave it.
Who are you talking to?
I'm here.
Who are you talking to?
I'm not talking to no one. It's just my parents' dad.
Who is that in the background?
I think that's my dad.
What is he doing?
He's gargling.
He's gargling?
Yeah.
Are you willing to help him right now?
No.
So is there 4 people dead?
Yes.
What made you do this?
I don't know. Something bad spirit possessed me.
You said something what?
Something bad possessed me.
Has this happened to you before where you've wanted to kill somebody?
No.
Are you willing to step outside and talk to my deputies when they get there?
Yes, no. I walk over with my bird.
Are you holding your bird?
Yeah.
If your bird's in your hands, I don't want you to take it outside. It's dark out there and they might think that it's something else. And you don't want your bird to get hurt, do you?
It isn't far away, miss.
You don't want your bird to get hurt, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, can you put it away for me?
I don't think so. It just flies away.
Okay, well, just leave it inside.
The dispatcher on the other end couldn't believe what she was hearing. I mean, this kid had just confessed he killed his entire family. While she was still on the line with him, sheriff's deputies were racing toward the house, and the distant rumble of passing trains cut through the pitch black, moonless desert. When they pulled up to the property, the officers jumped out of their cars and sprinted toward the gate.
Have him jump the fence. Let's go, let's go.
And soon, Diego stepped out of the darkness. He had his hands up and seemed calm, but it was obvious he was seriously drunk. Even with the horror of what he'd done, or at least what he'd confessed to, he didn't resist at all. Honestly, the only thing that seemed to bother him even a little in that moment was this tiny little bird he was carefully holding in his hands.
Take the bird. I'll take your bird. Let me see. I got your bird. I got him. I got him. I got his bird. Your hand behind your back.
At that point, the officers gently took the little bird, arrested Diego, and led him to the patrol car so he could get some medical attention. But the hardest part was still ahead. Now they had to face what was waiting inside the house.
Yeah, let's go.
Given how drunk he was and the near total lack of information, the officers couldn't rule out the possibility that there was another suspect or even a new threat inside the house. So they dashed back to the main building, this time with guns drawn, carefully checking every corner like their lives depended on it. Aerial photos showed that the property was massive. The main house, a secondary building, 2 large barns, a few trucks, and scattered outbuildings. There was a ton of ground to cover, so the officers decided to start with the family's main house. There were only 11 days left until Christmas, and the house was already decked out with festive lights and decorations. But right now, instead of feeling cozy, all of it just made the scene feel even more chilling.
See anything on this end, it just looks like a desk.
Bracing for the worst, the officers pushed open the front door and immediately saw blood on the floor. No one answered their calls. Step by step, room by room, they moved forward, slowly, eyes straining into the darkness.
I'm on your right.
And it was right there in the hallway that they found them. Each one shot in the head.
1080 on the...
3 people, 4 people.
I'm on you. Yep, I'm on you. Oh.
Need one more. 4, I got 4 people.
1, 2, 3,
One in
4.
the bathroom, 2, 3 in the hallway. Alright, hold what you got here, and let's start. Turn this side real quick.
Let me hold over here. Let me hold this off. We're gonna go back to back, okay? This is actually clear. We're good.
This was insanely dangerous for the officers. They were standing right there in the hallway, surrounded by 3 bodies basically in a death zone. They could have been shot from any direction, and no one knew if the threat was truly over. Every doorway, every turn felt like a potential ambush. They couldn't be sure this was the end. At first it seemed like there was no one else in the house until they found a 4th body in the next bedroom. Once the house was secured, the officers faced the hardest part, identifying the victims. Soon, they confirmed that the 3 bodies in the hallway belonged to Adriana, Adrian, and Alexandra, and the 4th body in the bedroom was the father, Leonardo. Based on the crime scene, they guessed that Leonardo might have stayed up drinking with Diego that night, while the rest of the family had already gone to their rooms and fallen asleep. For whatever reason, whether motive or madness, it was this that drove Diego to kill them, one by one. Body cam footage shows that officers were horrified by the sheer amount of blood splattered on the walls, floors, and even the ceiling. In the living room, they also noticed a smashed table, shards of glass, tons of spent shell casings, and a few live rounds scattered across the house. At the centre of all this horror, right on the dining table, lay a bloodied silver and black Ruger pistol. It seemed like it couldn't get any worse, but the situation only got more confusing. The officers knew 6 people lived in the house. 1 was in custody, 4 were dead. That meant 1 person was still missing, and that missing person was the grandfather, also named Leonardo. So if he hadn't been found yet, what did that mean? Was he dead too? Had he run off? Or, in an even darker scenario, could he have been involved? When detectives stepped back from the main house and looked over the property as a whole, things got even more complicated. This wasn't just one building, it was a whole compound with multiple structures. So now their priority shifted. They had to search not only the main house, but the entire property, inch by inch, in the dead of night. While Diego sat handcuffed in the back of the patrol car, the officers began combing the rest of the estate. This was the kind of place that could haunt the nightmares of any first responder or cop a large rural property with multiple buildings out in the middle of the desert in total darkness. They had to move carefully. One wrong step could be fatal. They started with the garage, a cramped, cluttered space packed with appliances and tons of blind spots. Every corner felt like a potential threat, but after a tense sweep, it was empty. Next, they checked the family trailer, a place where another shooter could have been hiding. The officers moved with extreme caution, knowing that any moment could turn into a deadly shootout. But, thankfully, they found nothing there either. It was just another lifeless shell. Then, when they approached the second building on the northwest side of the property, something caught their eye near the door, a walking stick. It made them pause. Could it belong to Diego's grandfather? At that moment, they loudly announced their presence, but once again, all they got in response was silence. Slowly and carefully, they went inside, clearing the hallways, then room by room.
Sheriff's office, anybody inside make his presence known? Sheriff's office. Sheriff's office. Policía. Somos la policía. ¿Alguien está adentro?
It only took a few seconds for the officers to realise they weren't alone. From one of the far bedrooms, they heard movement. The cops guessed it was probably Diego's grandfather. But since he didn't respond to their calls, there was no way to be sure. Then, after a few 10 seconds, he finally appeared half naked and completely bewildered, clearly not understanding what was happening.
¿Alguien más vive aquí en esta casa? ¿Alguien más vive en esta casa? No. No.
Allá sí, allá vive el hijo mío, la esposa y mis 3 nietos.
¿Listo?
Luckily, Leonardo was not only alive and seemingly unharmed, but he also didn't have a weapon, so no additional victims. But now there was a new problem. He had absolutely no idea what had just happened in the house next door. He had no clue that his entire family had just been brutally murdered. And now the officers faced a terrifying task, not just handcuffing him for their own safety, but also having to break the awful truth to him. I mean, how do you even start that conversation with an elderly man? Like, how do you look him in the eyes and tell him that in a single night he lost 2 generations of his family? And even worse, that it wasn't some tragic accident, but a cold-blooded murder committed by his own blood. That moment, without a doubt, must have hit him like a ton of bricks. And we can only imagine the pain he felt. But very soon, the whole world would learn about this tragedy.
Good evening. We start with breaking news. New Mexico State Police are investigating a homicide in Valencia County with a 16-year-old male in custody. News 13's Bella Lage is live in the Newsplex with what we know so far. Bella?
That's right. Earlier today, state police say they were starting the investigation at a rural home southeast of Belen. According to the agency, the 16-year-old told them he killed his family. State police say they were alerted of the incident around 3:30 this morning at a home near Highway 47 southeast of Belen and its Rio communities. Police say the teen, identified as Diego Leyva, told dispatchers he killed his family. When agents arrived, they say Leyva walked out of the home, quote, extremely intoxicated, and surrendered without incident. NMSP says 4 people were found dead in the home with a gun located on the kitchen table. Now, the Office of the Medical Examiner is working to give a positive identification to the victims. NMSP says Leyva is being held at the hospital for detox and will then be booked into a juvenile detention facility. That's all. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Bella. NMSP says Leyva is facing 4 counts of murder. They also say the incident is still under investigation.
By dawn, half the town already knew what had happened. And trust me, this news shocked everyone. 4 lives, all from the same family. And even worse, it was done by one of their own. Leonardo, Adriana, and their entire family, including Diego, were well known and loved in their communities. Adriana was only 35 when she died. Since 2007, she had proudly served as a volunteer firefighter with the Rio Community Fire Department, dedicating over a decade of her life to saving lives and helping the people around her. But Adriana wasn't just a firefighter, she was a mother, a wife, and in her free time, even a bit of a farmer. Determined, full of life, with an amazing sense of humor and tons of initiative, she always radiated warmth. She and Leonardo were a real team, both at home and at work, as Adriana often helped her husband with construction projects. In the years before his death, Leonardo worked as an electrician and a data center technician. People described him as incredibly hardworking, always striving to improve himself, even taking project management courses, as you could see on his LinkedIn profile. Together with his father, Leonardo built a life centered on family love and respect for the community. After Diego was taken into custody, he was officially charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. But before he could be formally booked, he needed urgent medical attention. It took about 24 hours, probably the worst hangover of his life, before he was finally deemed fit for detention and transferred to a holding cell. Meanwhile, at the crime scene, investigators finished a detailed sweep, which confirmed Diego acted alone. The next big question was obvious. What was the motive? Why would a 6-year-old boy kill his own family? Let's start with the main thing. Diego was insanely drunk, and that's putting it lightly. And since this all went down in New Mexico, he was way under the legal drinking age. We don't know exactly why he was so wasted. But most likely, while the rest of the family went to bed, Diego stayed up with his dad and they were drinking together. Another detail to note, during the 911 call, he told the dispatcher that something evil had taken over him. When she asked if he'd ever had thoughts of hurting anyone before, he immediately said, no. And this is where the real mystery begins. The trial hasn't happened yet, so most questions still don't have answers. But one thing's clear, everyone who knew Diego was completely shocked. No signs of violence, no strange behavior, no warning signals. He wasn't on any medication, had no known mental health issues, which just makes the whole story even creepier. Of course, nobody literally believes he was possessed by evil, but it raises a ton of questions. Was he experiencing a psychotic break? Did he have some hidden mental disorder? Personally, I've watched a lot of his arrest footage from different angles, and honestly, I've never seen anyone that drunk. So, to be real, I don't even know what to believe. Maybe he really had no violent tendencies before, and this time alcohol just completely broke him. It's hard to wrap your head around. Still, it's fascinating and terrifying to think about where this case might go. One of the eeriest details to emerge after Diego's arrest happened after he was already in custody. During questioning the day after the murders, Diego reportedly told investigators again that some voice had told him to kill his family. His words suggested that he believed he was being controlled by an evil spirit or some sort of voice guiding him. People in the community were stunned. One of Diego's former teachers said, "I never would have thought something like this could happen, that Diego was capable of something like this." After the tragedy, the Belen School District posted a statement on Facebook announcing extra psychological support for any students who needed it. The statement read, "We are deeply saddened and shocked by the tragic event in which a BHS student killed their family this past Saturday. Our hearts go out to the victims, their loved ones, and everyone affected by this terrible loss." The emotional impact rippled across several schools. Diego went to Belen High School, his sister Alexandra attended Belen Middle School, and his brother Adrian went to the Academy of Dreams School. So the tragedy hit the entire local school community hard. In response, a GoFundMe page called Familiar Labour was set up to help cover funeral expenses. In just a few days, it raised over $6,000, a small but heartfelt show of support for the family in the shadow of an irreplaceable loss. As for the grandfather, Leonardo, he's keeping to himself and staying out of the public eye. As of June 2025, when this video was published, the case still hasn't gone to trial. After the charges were filed, the next steps would be preliminary hearings, psychological evaluations, and then finally the trial itself. No trial date has been announced yet, which is pretty normal for such a complex case, but sooner or later the public will learn about the next stage. If Diego's case does go to trial, he'll be tried as an adult. And in New Mexico, any first-degree murder charge can carry a life sentence. Worth noting, there's no death penalty in this state. But even without that, we're still talking about an extremely serious sentence. Another chilling detail, each victim was shot just once and all in the head. That kind of precision could be a major point for the prosecution, which will likely argue this wasn't just a drunken rampage. Looking at it from that angle, it increasingly seems like a cold-blooded, planned execution. On the other hand, Diego's defense will almost certainly focus on his mental state, since from the very beginning he claimed he was possessed by an evil spirit. So, most likely, his defense will lean on either a psychotic break or the idea that he was so drunk he didn't understand what he was doing. But whether anyone buys that, we'll see. Personally, my gut feeling tells me Diego's going to spend a very, very long time behind bars. Now, I want to ask you, what do you think will happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. On that note, it looks like we've reached the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I really appreciate you being here. For now, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and of course, stay curious. Thanks, and see you next time.